What's up YouTube? Do You Feel Lucky here, and I'm excited to welcome you to a new series on the channel. 7th Gen Competitive Pokemon Predictions. Now, I'm sure you're asking yourself, what exactly does this mean? Well, that's what I'm here to tell you. In this series, I'm going to analyze each of the new Pokemon announced for 7th Gen and try to predict where they will fall in the competitive scene when Sun and Moon are released this fall. Now, as a small disclaimer, all these videos will be my opinion based on the facts the Pokemon Company has given us so far on each of these Pokemon. Now, I only be covering what I think or know to be final evolutions of 7th Gen Pokemon, so I will not be doing a video on any of the starters until we know their final evolutions. Now, I'll be basing my predictions on a few basic facts we know about the Pokemon, like the abilities they have, their typing, no moves, and finally their stats if we have access to them. If I do not know their stats, I will find a Pokemon similar to the newly announced Pokemon and base its stats around that Pokemon. Now, with all that out of the way, I'd like to introduce you to the first Pokemon of this series, Bruxish. Some of you may be asking, really? Bruxish is the first 7th Gen Pokemon you decided to cover? Yes, I know it may seem odd at first, but hear me out. I chose Bruxish for two main reasons. First, because of its typing, and second, and most important, its new and very unique ability, Dazzling. Dazzling is a new ability that prevents its user from being hit by priority moves. So in other words, bye-bye extreme speed. This ability made Bruxish the perfect candidate for the first episode of this series. Now, it is time to break down what we know about Bruxish. First off, it is a water and psychic type Pokemon. This is a typing that only a handful of other Pokemon share. Its classification is the Gnarsh Teeth Pokemon. It is 2 foot 11 inches and 41.9 pounds. His abilities are Dazzling and Strongjaw. Dazzling prevents moves with an increased speed priority from hitting, and Strongjaw increases the power of biting moves by 50%. The only move we know Bruxish has so far is Psywave. As of this time of the video, we do not know Bruxish's stats, so I've made my own prediction based on similar Pokemon to Bruxish. The Pokemon I used were Basculin, Slowbro, and Sharpedo. Basculin is used because I believe Bruxish will be a fish Pokemon just like Basculin with no evolutions. Slowbro is used for its typing of Water and Psychic, and Sharpedo because it has access to Strongjaw when it Mega Evolves. Now, I used Basculin and Slowbro's stat totals to get an average number to work for Bruxish. So in other words, I added 490 plus 460, then divided by 2 to get a stats total of 475. I then used Sharpedo to get a general number of how its stats should be laid out. I then tweaked them based around what we know about Bruxish. For HP, I gave it 70 because I do not believe it will be a very bulky Pokemon. For attack, I gave it 100 because I believe it will predominantly be a physical attacker based on the fact that it gets Strongjaw. For defense, I gave it 70. For special attack, I gave it 90 because we know it has access to special moves early on. For special defense, I gave it a 50. And finally, for speed, I gave it 95, so it will be able to outspeed some Pokemon, but not all. Now that we know Bruxish's stats, we need to look at some of the moves it might learn. Obviously, we know it learns Psywave, and we probably can assume that it will also learn Psychic, Surf, and Waterfall. Because of Strongjaw ability, it will most likely learn Crunch and all of the elemental feints. Now, since I believe it will be a physical attacker, I believe it will also learn the moves Zen Headbutt, Aqua Tail, and possibly Psycho Cut. Finally, I believe it will learn Aqua Jet just because it will be the perfect slap in the face to give a Pokemon that prevents priority moves a priority move. Now is the time in the video where I give you a potential set based on all the information I just gave you. And finally, what tier I believe this Pokemon will be placed in. I believe Bruxish will be the ultimate troll against revenge attackers, so its stats layout will reflect this. I would put 100 EVs in HP so it can take a hit, 252 in attack, and finally 156 speed. This should allow you to switch in a priority move, take no damage, and then hopefully outspeed the next turn and do a massive amount of damage. Obviously you would run Dazzling as the ability, and then a move set of Aqua Jet, Zen Headbutt, Waterfall, and Protect. This gives Bruxish two powerful stab moves, priority, and a way to scout out what moves the other Pokemon has. With all of this information, I believe Bruxish will fall into the UU tier or the RU tier because it is too frail to compete in OU, but its ability and moveset make it good enough to be competitive in UU. I look at Bruxish and see the perfect Arcanine counter in UU. It makes its extreme speed useless and can hit it with a powerful stab water attack to take it down. I cannot wait to get my hands on this Pokemon and see what it can actually do in the game when it releases this fall. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I worked really hard on it and I really am excited to bring this series to the channel. If you did like it, please leave a like down below. Dislike if you didn't. comment down below some of your thoughts, what you think Bruxish will be, and maybe some advice on some of the stuff that you might want me to see differently in these videos or anything like that. I mean, I'm kind of trying to get a feel for this, see how you guys like it, see how I like it, to see, you know, kind of a little bit of the predictions, to see what's going on. Either way, guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed. That was actually a lot of work to do, but it was really fun to do. Alright guys, I'm gonna get out of here, but before I do, remember, stay lucky.